only had 4 practices. Took a day off on Tuesday to go to the crew. But they're trying real hard, and our practices aren't long because we don't have, we don't get a break. So, but I think our guys should be in pretty good shape. That's one positive thing that's come of it. And they're actually doing good. I mean, we're careless. We don't, we don't guard yet anybody and everything. But I'm not sure if every school in America is going to say the same thing.
Coach, what do you think the difference in Thomas's play this year is going to be? I mean, obviously as the leader, as a starter, things like foul trouble and the intensity he's always had in the past, which has been good. How is that going to affect you guys this year with not too much depth at the big man position?
Well, he's got to play smarter. He can't go out and foul 30 feet from the basket just because he's not disciplined and reaches, and he has a tendency to do that. So we've got to do some things to maybe try to eliminate him being in those type of positions if that's possible. And we haven't had a lot of guys play 30 minutes a game because we've had enough depth to keep guys fresh. We could literally have, starters that could all play that if they can stay out of foul trouble. And he's as important as anybody we have, obviously, to keep moving forward.
Is it too early in practice, do you think, to see how he's responding to that change in his role in terms of...
No, he's trying real hard. He's doing good, but it's too early in practice to see how he's going to react when defenses are designed to slow him down, or they're going to trap him every time he gets touches in certain areas and things like that. So, Thomas is pretty skilled, but he's not quite as skilled as the Twins. But there's some things that he can do that the Twins don't do as well, and he's still got to remember who he is. I mean, he's a guy that is strong and needs to use his athletic ability and his motor to his strength rather than just be a skilled guy. Making shots is great, and he needs to be able to make shots, but he also needs to be efficient. That's by driving the ball.
How much of a role will guys like Justin Wesley, Connor Tehan have this season?
I think they're both going to be in our rotation. I do. I think they're both going to play. I don't know if that's a great thing that you have 2 guys that came in walk-ons that now are going to definitely be part of the rotation. But rather than look at it from a negative standpoint, I think we should look at it. That's how much better they've gotten. And Connor's good. He just hadn't had a chance. I mean, we've had so many guys. And Justin Wesley happens to get eligible at the perfect time where he does have an opportunity. I told his mom the other day, I never thought when you told me you were going to pay his own way to go to school here that there would be such a blessing to us from a playing time standpoint, because right now he's got a chance to be first guy off the bench from a big guy standpoint.
What do you like about Justin's game?
He's athletic. He's got more balance and quicker off his feet than anybody we've had since Keith was super athletic until he hurt his knee, and Justin is 4 inches taller and really athletic.
Bill, considering how many lost, were you surprised if you ranked?
Yeah, I don't understand that. I've always said that I thought the coaches generally was a lot brighter than the media. I still do, but in this particular case, I'm not sure that's I don't know. They didn't pick us to win it last year. We had those 6 guys. We lose those guys and really don't replace them from a production standpoint, and now they're picked to win it. So that's fine with us. Our guys were excited when they were picked to win it because I think that expectations at our place have been somewhat tempered, and that kind of got them fired back up again. Because I know they think they can be good, but certainly we're not talked about like we have been in years past.
Bill, you've talked about Sherron and Cole and
Thomas and Ty.
Do you think Ty used his freshman year experience, kind of watching Sherron? Do you think they'll go back to that?
I don't know if that's really true or not. I will say this about Tyshawn: he's never going to score as many points as Sherron. That's not who he is, but he can do some other things better than Sherron could do. I'm not sure we've had a more talented guard in our program than Sherron. But Tyshawn is much better from a production standpoint than what he's shown so far, because we don't have we've had so many guys that hasn't been his job. I really think that I'm not going to predict that he's going to have a year similar to Sherron's that year. I think Sherron averaged like 18 a game and that kind of stuff. But to me, if you're going to start a team, you start it with Tyshawn Taylor at point, Thomas Robinson inside. That's not a bad way to start a team. It's kind of like Cole and Sharon back a few years ago.
Coach, I know it's probably too early to quantify it at this point, but can you talk about what the newcomers, I guess, are going to mean to the team, what you're expecting out of them this season?
We don't have many. You recruit 6 and only get 3. You know, obviously our depth situation is not great, but it's fine as long as those guys develop. You know, if Nadir can be a guy that's come in and give us good minutes and not take a step backwards, which I think he's capable of, and Kevin Young can be a guy that can maybe be a hybrid, maybe play some inside and play in the perimeter and actually get comfortable, then I think those are positive things. I mean, they've got to deliver for us. I mean, you look at our team and you really know what you're going to get from our starters plus Connor, because they've been around. Justin Wesley's a little bit of an unknown, even though he's done great, and of course Nadir and Kevin. Merv will play some, but he's not quite as far strength-wise along as what the other guys are. So Kevin and Nadir have to be guys that play, you know, impactful minutes for us. Discipline isn't where it needs to be, but I think he can become a good defender. But those other two have some God-given natural attributes that should allow them to be great defenders. And Elijah can be a good defender, don't get me wrong, and he'll try real hard and all that stuff. But those other guys got to carry that others don't have, if they want to, and they're going to tell you they really want to. But we'll wait and see, because you know you're sacrificing things offensively to become a great defender. And sometimes guys say they want to do that, but they actually do it. You know. Yeah, it's probably the best non-conference schedule we had, and probably the least experienced returning team. So it's probably not the smartest combination. But you know, the thing about it, our guys need to get out there. We need to compare ourselves against where other teams that we know are competing at a high national level, and so it'll be a process. We're not going to say that we're expecting to take lumps. We're not expecting. I mean, but the bottom line is it'll be a learning process for everybody. Thomas Robinson is looked at as one of our experienced players, and he's never been a guy that can play well for us to win. He's been a guy that subbed for guys that had to play well for us to win, and so he's been a great bonus. I mean, he's been the icing, so to speak, the reserve. Now he's got to be the main course, and so those are different roles. But and that was actually a decent food analogy. I'm excited for him because I think it'll give us a true test of where we're at early this season. You know, genetics has a lot to do with that too. And these guys, you know, we got the best strength coach in the country, so she's doing a great job with those guys and getting them to, like Justin Wesley gained 30 pounds since he's been here. But he'll lose it too. You know, he'll gain it, then he'll lose it once you get into the situation. But he's a lot bigger and stronger. I mean, he's 220 pounds. When he got here, he's $190. But still, though, just because you put on weight doesn't necessarily mean strong.
Coach, you become concerned with your team about them trying to live up to the expectations that the media and the fans put on them. Does that concern you sometimes?
Yeah, but I think the expectations this year are probably less than what they have been. But you know, the best scenario would be to coach at a place where there's no expectations. You have really, really good players, and they pack the house every night. Well, it doesn't work like that. So there's give and take with everything, and so I certainly would welcome the expectations, because to me, expectation means you got to play through things, and it makes you tougher and harder.
The young guys from the season ago, matured and whatnot, how are they involved into the leadership roles this year?
Well, you know, I'd say the two guys that have evolved as leaders more so than anybody would be Tyshawn and Thomas. And you know, Tyshawn, not a young guy. Thomas, to me, even though he hadn't played a lot, he's had more life experiences than most people go through in a lifetime in the last year. So he's matured at a unbelievably rapid rate because he's had to. And I think that people look at him as a guy that's been a pillar for us, and he's been able to lead without talking because of watching his actions. So even though they've kind of evolved into that was going to happen regardless. It was going to happen regardless because the personalities are gone. Now Tyshawn's personality can shine through. The dominant personalities are gone. And then Thomas, of course, is a guy that is playing for more than just himself.
Gordon Taylor, are you in position to try to take advantage of his speed? I couldn't believe how fast this kid was.
Yeah, he's fast. He's fast.
So you're going to try to get more of that speed for him?
Yeah, but we tried that all the time. I mean, we've tried to play a style that was fast and take advantage of things. I think one thing this year is if he becomes the defensive guy we think he can be, then we can score more from our defense.
You talked about strength and conditioning. Who would you say made the most progress over this summer and fall?
Elijah's lost some weight. You know, I never thought he was heavy, but he looks so much better playing lighter. But I would say probably Justin Wesley. I'd say, you know, it's kind of a relative term because, you know, once you get to here, it's harder to get to here. But when you're here, it's easier to get to here. You know, St. Justin was so thin and never really been in a program. It was much easier to see.